They sprinting away from the 1200 metre marker. And Captain of All was very quick to respond. Trip to Heaven's right there in the blue. Carry On Alice is also well positioned shortly after the start, and there goes around them Fly By Night. Legislate on the outside with the Blue Silks and African Dream with a good position. Espan's behind that, and then Eldon Camarco's back at the rail. Daring Davis further back in the running. It's Legislate that leads them, a length and a quarter. Captain of Alice stalking it. African Dreams back third. Eldon Camarco then Trip to Heaven. Espan's near the rail. On the outside, Fly By Night. They're followed by Willow Magic about 7 lengths off them with Carry On Alice, Mufid and Daring Dave the last two. The Mercury Sprint and it's Legislate. Captain of All's now going to throw out the challenge down the inside. African Dream. Legislate and Captain of All coming to the 200 metre marker. Captain of All though hit the front over the last 100. Carry On Alice is running on from behind, but Captain of All's going on to win it, and Captain of All has got it won. Second place will go to Legislate, then Carry On Alice. Close for fourth, Fly By Night or African Dream. The Mercury Sprint goes to number 1, Captain of All. Dennis Dreyer, pickup ride, Greg Sheen. Captain of All has now won 7 from 12. The Captain L, bred by Riverton Stud for Ingrid and Marcus Yerster, gets the seal of approval at the line. And Captain of All wins it and wins it well. The best part of 4 to 5 lengths. Carry On Alice will just probably get up for second. Legislate third. Fly By Night fourth, African Dream fifth, then Eldon Camarco. Further back, Trip to Heaven, Espan, then Mufid. They were followed by Willow Magic, Daring Davis further back in the run. But a tremendous run in the Mercury Sprint goes to Captain of All, who was sitting prominent as Legislate made the running. A cracking run from Legislate, but Captain of All has him in his sights, and he takes it up just at the 200 metre marker, and then he runs away from the opposition. Legislate, Willow Magic, Carry On Alice running on powerfully on the outside, but Captain of All, number 1, is victorious. Tote favourite at £2.90. Well done to the Dennis Dreyer yard. Just looking at it from this angle, and Captain of All just struts his stuff, and he clears away to win it by about 4 lengths in the Mercury Sprint. So that's race number 7. The presentation will take place in front of the main grandstand, and returning to the winner's enclosure is number 1, Captain of All. The Captain L, Dennis Dreyer. Ingrid and Marcus Yerster, Greg Sheen.
Welcome for the winning presentation of the 2015 running of the Grade 1 Mercury Sprint. And joining us in the winner's enclosure, Chairman of Gold Circle, Mr. Robert Movis, and Mr. Fikile Moya. He is the editor of Mercury newspaper. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming down and assisting us with the winning presentation. And what a fantastic result it's turned out to be for the Dennis Dreyer team. Of course, Mr. and Mrs. Euster, and the breeders, Riverton Stud, and a chance ride here for jockey Greg Sheen, who's picked up the ride on number 1, Captain of All, who's now made it 5 from 5 over the distance. Firstly, Greg, I'm sure you want to share a bit of comment for Sean Cormack, who's unfortunately in observation in hospital.
Yeah, absolutely, Deez. It's terrible. You know, I'm the fortuitous one here, but we all know how much this horse means to Sean. You know, it's well documented. He's had a fantastic relationship. You know, being his last round, I know it would have meant a lot to Sean to be here. So, you know, I can only hope that Sean is really going to be fine, first and foremost. But secondly, you know, I have to dedicate this win to him.
Well, you've got the chance to sit on him in his last ride before he retires to stud, and talk us through it.
Yeah, I was almost just a passenger today. You know, it was Mr. Dryer just said to me, "Listen, ride him with confidence. He's the right horse in the race." Fantastic job by Mr. Dryer and Stuart and his whole team back home, and obviously to Sean, who I'm sure does most of the work. Obviously to the youngsters, always a pleasure riding for them. To Derek Bruchman, I thank them very much for entrusting the ride with me when the ride became available, and just being in the right place at the right time makes a difference.
Talking about the race, when you turn into the straight, Richard had first run on you, and he's a classy horse, obviously a distance short of his best, but when a horse is in front of you, you still have to go and fetch him.
Yeah, absolutely. When I got out well from the gates, I put myself in the position I wanted. I had him in a nice momentum, and half a furlong into the race, I could see one on my outer. When I saw it was Legislate, knowing, Richard knows pace very well, and he also knows his horse as well. I knew that if I let him come across me, he wasn't going to ease it back because it definitely wouldn't have suited his horse. So I was pretty confident that he'd keep those fractions up. It worked out that way. I always had the option to come out if I needed to, but I had a lovely toe into the race and just came off his back at about the 350, and his turn of foot was unbelievable. It's been a long time since I've sat on a horse of this quality, and it just showed today.
Whilst it's been a chance ride, it's just been a tremendous season for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm very, very thrilled, the way things have gone. I'm only 3 winners off my personal best, so I've still got that to chase. And thank you to everybody that's been involved. And obviously, I wish this horse very well, all the connections. He's going to be sorely missed on the tracks as a top sprinter. I'm hoping he's going to do everybody proud out at I'm sure he's going to stand at Cloverflay, I'm sure. And very well done to Alventee Estate, my sponsors as well.
Well done to winning jockey Greg Sheen. And whilst we celebrate with Greg, we spare a thought for jockey Sean Cormack. Next up, let's have the winning trainer, Dennis Dreyer. Now, before we touch on this win, let's have a look at trainer Dennis Dreyer's stats for champion season. If my memory serves me correct, I think this is his 5th Grade 1 during champion season, 2 on Scottsville's big race day, 2 on Vodacom Durban July day, and now he's back the Mercury Sprint. Den, it's just been an outstanding champion season for yourself and your yard.
It has, Dees, and as you say, for the yard, for the team, for everyone. These things don't happen too often. And what can I say? Such a big thank you to Ingrid and Marcus. Sorry they couldn't be here, but Marcus is so busy all over the world. But it's so great to have Derek and John here for the captain's last run, and he couldn't have shown them a cleaner pair of heels.
Your jockey, let's hope he's fine, he's under observation, but we know that Sean loves the horse, and a bittersweet moment.
Yeah, I know. I don't even want to mention poor Shawnee. I'm thinking of him. Yeah.
Well, all the best, Den, and again, a tremendous training feat to yourself and your team. An emotional winning trainer, Dennis Dreyer.
And just thanks to Greg for standing in. Couldn't have done a better job, and Shawnee will get back together soon. Get well, boy.
Well done to winning trainer, Dennis Dreyer. Well, the son of Captain L has now notched up his 7th career win from 12 runs. As I mentioned, 6 from 6 over the distance. And a gentleman that takes care of Ingrid and Marcus Eustace's racing affairs is none other than Derek Bruchman. And I've had the pleasure of chatting to Derek about this horse on a number of occasions. And the first question, Derek, is, we didn't see him as a 3-year-old, but it's just turned out tremendously well that you guys gave him the time off to recover. And as a 4-year-old, he's really come back with a bang.
Yeah, he wasn't really that unsound, but Dennis just said it would be the right thing for the horse. And once we knew we had a good horse on our hands, we were more than happy to give him the time to come back. The plan was then to get him ready for the Cape season, and obviously he got touched off by a whisker in the Cape flying. But he's come back to Durban and redeemed himself this season.
Talking about his form and how he's come through these Grade 1s as a 4-year-old, the Golden Horse Casino Sprint, this race, quality opposition, but he's a quality horse and he stamped his authority in both races.
Yeah, well, this was weight for age today, so it was a little bit easier than the Scottsville race with 60 on his back. But I think he's one of the best sprinters this country has seen for a very long time. To set a course record at Scottsville, win 2 Group 1s there, and win it today in the manner that he did with all of Carry On Alice, Legislate, Willow Magic, all those horses in the race. It takes a proper horse to do it, and I think he's going to be a huge success at stud. And to all the guys who've already got involved and bought shares, thanks very much. We hope he's very successful at stud, and we'll be buying plenty of his babies in years to come, because this is a proper racehorse.
Well, please give our best as always to Mr. and Mrs. Juster, and we'll keep an eye on his progeny, Derek. Long may it continue, and things going really well with regards to the way the Justers have again had a tremendous season, 2014, 2015.
Well, we've got a lot of support from Marcus. We've got fantastic trainers like Jill and Dennis Dreyer. You know, Dennis been unbelievable with our horses this season. The planning that him and I put together has worked out exactly like we wanted to work out. And it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to work with people of Dennis and Jill's caliber. And let's hope we've got another few of these in the wings in the years to come with them. And then I'd just like you to have a quick word of John Costa, who's syndicating the horse, and where he'll be standing at Claverflay. Thanks to Greg for taking the ride in Sean's absence, and Shawnee, get well better soon.
Well done. Derek Brickman, the winning memento for the winning owners. And we'll have a quick word with John, who is on a course here. Of course, the horse standing at Claverflay Stud. And what another fantastic acquisition as a stallion.
No, absolutely, Dees. And you know, Captain Al has been one of the most phenomenal stallions this country's ever had. Currently in the world, he is second with Group 1 winners to a horse called the Bowie. And I mean, that in itself is an amazing achievement. So to have a son who could blow away a field like today, come to stud, to stand alongside his father, is fantastic for everybody in South Africa. And for the guys that have taken shares so far, fantastic to have you on board. And I'm just hoping that we're going to get a lot of telephone calls after this race today.
No doubt about that. After this performance, they should be queuing up.
Thank you very much, Dees. Appreciate it.
Well done to John Costa representing Claverflay Stud. And then the winning groom, his name is Goodman Makubane. He's done an outstanding job with Captain of L. Well done to the winning groom, Goodman Makubane. A big thank you to the chairman of Gold Circle, Mr. Robert Movis, and of course, Fikile Moya, the editor of the Mercury newspaper, for coming down and assisting us with the winning presentation of the Grade 1 Mercury Sprint. And in 2015, it belongs to the awesome number 1 captain of all. We'll break and we'll be back for the lucky draw, where we got 3 great prizes on offer.